Now listen to what the co-chair of the Democratic Socialists of America said about abolishing the Senate and borders.
The Senate is an anachronistic institution. It comes from the British House of Lords. It is made to protect power for, the Senate was part of the system that was made to make sure that the people didn't have too much of a say. We're not saying open the borders tomorrow. We're saying rebuild an economy and a society that works for everyone. And the open borders is part of a longer-term international plan that involves us stopping destabilizing countries. So the long-term plan, when we think about most people who are in prison, they are mostly in prison for crimes of poverty.
Wow, did you take all that lot in, Liz Peek? And the Senate...
I did. It's the gift that keeps on giving, Stuart.
It is. It really is. I mean, they're promising the world. Meanwhile, Mandami can't even get free buses in New York City. I mean, do people really believe this stuff?
Stuart, what this woman is talking about is basically anarchy. It's about destroying the foundations of the United States. And look, if the Democratic Party has problems, this is a core element of it. People don't like what this group is selling. And you have Hakeem Jeffries out on the stump saying, we have a big tent. Basically saying, come on in. We like anarchists. We like people who hate the United States and hate everything that has made this country great. My gosh, the fact that more moderate Democrats, Democratic leaders have not stood up and said, no, we reject everything this group has stood for. And by the way, this didn't include the anti-Semitism that is basically rife, not only in the DSA, but also in the Democratic Party right now. They have a lot they have a lot of problems, and this woman just basically listed all of them.
Nicely put, Liz, nicely put. Did you see this? It's in the New York Times. It describes, they describe what they call phone-throwing drama at the troubled, broke Democratic Party. DNC chair Ken Martin reportedly threw his phone at the desk of a junior aide. I don't think Martin keeps his job. I mean, if you get an article like that in the New York Times, the writing's on the wall. You're not there for long, are you?
Okay, I agree. Ken Martin has problems. He has ever since he wouldn't release the autopsy that said what went wrong in the 2024 election, although you and I know pretty much what went wrong, Stuart. Kamala Harris was a terrible candidate. But anyway, yeah, he's in trouble. But here's my take on this story. This is a way of the New York Times saying, hey, everybody, we need money to come into the Democratic Party. The Democrats are broke, and if you want to throw out the Republicans and take over the Senate, take over the House, you need to start ponying up because the numbers are staggering. Basically, the DNC has negative net worth right now. The Republicans have about 130 million bucks, and the DNC owes $2 million. Stuart, how did they get to being underwater financially when Kamala Harris raised well over $1 billion? It's unimaginable.
Can they get the money they need? I mean, they need hundreds of millions of dollars. Why should donors pony up all that money when they've just watched Kamala Harris lose an election having spent $1 billion? Why should the donors pony up?
Well, I think it doesn't say much about the fiscal stewardship of the Democratic Party for sure. But look, who have they alienated? Partly they've alienated very wealthy Jewish Democrats, most of whom do vote Democratic and traditionally have. Do you think a lot of Jewish people are giving the DNC money right now? I don't, because they have allowed anti-Semitism to creep into one campaign after another. And in my view, the Democrat Jew is now extremely alienated, and that's one source of losing funds. But the other thing is that, the Times talks about how unpopular Trump is. The Democratic Party has lower favorability ratings right now than Trump, and, by the way, than the GOP. So I think Democrats have a real message problem. Why not? All they've done is oppose Donald Trump, and now they're welcoming in this anarchic, communist group that wants to destroy our country. So, go figure, right? Voters don't like it very much.
I can tell you're having a good time. Liz Peek on a Monday morning.
I think it's pretty funny. I got it.
I know
it's horrible. It's horrible, but it is kind of funny.
So quit smiling. Liz Peek, well, great stuff on a Monday morning. We'll see you again real soon, I trust. Thank you.